Bing bong. Yeah. What's up, guys?
Nerfing.
It's podcast day. How are we feeling about that? Do you guys like my new mic stand?
Love it.
It's a
Hot.
floor stand, so I can literally take my microphone anywhere and put it anywhere and podcast from anywhere.
I mean, you can do that with other non-floor stands.
Yeah, but I'm thinking I have big plans for this floor stand. I'm going to use it, I think, on Oscar night. And maybe I'll stream from the couch and just have a mic stand while I'm lounging. Pretty good idea, right?
Smart.
Guys, welcome. Welcome to the CineBoiz podcast. We are part of the Corked Bats podcast network. We are the CineBoiz, the movie, TV, gaming, entertainment branch of Corked Bats. If you don't know what Corked Bats is, be sure to follow them on social media. It's at Corked Bats on Twitter and at CorkedBats2 on Instagram, and visit corkedbats.com for all your favorite Corked Bats content, including some really fun Oscar posts that are really upsetting some people, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but they're not the wrong takes.
They're not the wrong takes. We'll get into it today. I think we need to talk about seeing as
not
how
have
we're
seen
a week
those.
out. We're a week out from Oscars, so we're going to talk a little bit nominees today after we do some headlines. But yeah, hey, happy National Corn Dog Day to all who celebrate.
I do not.
You don't? You don't?
No, I
I
do.
love corn dogs.
I love corn dogs, man. I want to go get like a gourmet corn dog today.
I am anti-hot dog.
That is
Right.
That I don't like that.
Un-American, probably, but
I
you know,
like a good
All right, Mr.
gourmet-
Hoity-toity, I'm so better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do
I
you
get
think
it.
You are.
I'm Nashville mob.
Is that what that in on your hat stands for?
Hell yeah, go Sounds.
All right. Well, hey, Marie, not Jay in the chat. Good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, I mean, there's some headlines this week, but it's not like not a whole lot happened this week. I was trying to find dig up some good stuff to maybe talk about, but it wasn't a whole lot to do. So we'll get into it. But first, let's get to some housekeeping items. Oh, Marie, not Jay, says HNCDD. Happy National Corn Dog Day. She's happy. The only person who's not happy about it's you, Mob.
I mean, I'm not like upset about it. I just don't celebrate because I don't like hot dogs.
That's fair.
Anti implies though that you're upset.
Yeah, anti is pretty negative.
I just don't like hot dogs. There are many other things I'd rather spend my calories on.
Okay,
All right.
that's fair. Let's get into some housekeeping items real quick. If you're watching us live on the Twitch page, our Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/thecineBoiz, thank you so much. If you're not following, please consider following. We hit 50 followers the other night, which puts us in affiliate range. We got to do a few more streams, but pretty soon we'll be rolling in the dough. Look out.
Deep.
Look out who's on Twitch these days. I can't keep track of who has exclusive deals where and where. Ninja's on Twitch, right? I know Dr. Disrespect isn't on Twitch anymore. He's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But yeah, this is going to be, and it is our landing page. So really, it's kind of our home base. If you look down below, look at some of the tabs, you can see where you can follow us on social media, join our Discord, etc., etc. And you know what? Following costs you absolutely nothing. And by following, you're probably going to be entered to win some sort of prize in the future. For instance, we're giving away a prize next Sunday night during our Oscar stream. So just so you know, put it on your calendar. Sunday night, probably get started about 6:45 Central Time. No Saturday recording, just our Oscars live stream. So be sure to tune into that. And yeah, like I said, you're entered to win a prize by following. So you're basically making money off of us just by following. Jonesy Joe in the chat. Good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, and then if you're watching us live on the Corked Bats YouTube page, which if you are, go ahead and throw something up in the chat right now, because I think most of the people watching are on Twitch. But you'll get a special shout out if you're watching on YouTube right now. Thank you so much for joining us. Help us continue to grow the Corked Bats YouTube channel by subscribing, liking this video, etc. All of that goes a long way for us. Again, costs you absolutely nothing. Helps us, goes a long way for us. And it also helps the rest of Corked Bats out. So We'd really appreciate that. And if you're unable to watch us live, that's okay. You can still catch our podcast. Here's some fun news. Our podcast video, you can watch it on Spotify.
Yeah, how did we get that to happen?
I got an in Spotify, man. I know people over at Spotify. Joe Rogan's basically my neighbor, so he's not problematic.
Same zip.
So, yeah, we got the Joe Rogan connection. We got So you can watch our video if you have a Spotify account. You can watch our podcast video, or you can just listen to it on Spotify, and you can also listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. We are a podcast first and foremost, so please consider rating, reviewing, following, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Again, costs you absolutely nothing, goes a long way for us, so we really appreciate that. And then, something we've been emphasizing for 2022 are our follow goals. And currently, we are in the month of Marpril, which is a joint month we invented of March and April. And here are our follow goals that we want to hit by, I think it's, Marpril 31st. We want to hit, or 61st, excuse me. We want to get to 150 Twitch followers, 150 Twitter followers, 190 Instagram followers, and 60 Twitch followers. So I think we're pretty close to all of these. I think the furthest one away is Twitter. I think we only have like 112 Twitter followers. But I think we're over 170 on Instagram. We're now at 50 on Twitch. So we're getting there. We're making moves. So please consider subscribing or liking and reviewing, all that good stuff. You have till the end of April, essentially. So we're giving you extra time. But if we hit all three, you get CineBoiz the Musical in May. So that's exciting. Please consider helping us grow. But yeah, I'm Kenny. I'm part of the CineBoiz. I'm one of the co-hosts, the main boy, if you will, of the CineBoiz podcast.
Head boy.
Head boy. Boss boy. It's like Boss Baby. I like that. Call me Boss Boy. And I am joined by two of our other three co-hosts. Kevin could not be here today. Who knows what he's doing? But let's start on the East Coast with our good friend Mob. How are you, Mob?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
How much longer can we call you East Coast Mob?
Well, like 3 months or so. I don't know. We don't have a place in Nashville yet, so.
You should move to Austin instead.
No. I love Nashville. I really do.
I don't. I like Austin.
I love it.
Nashville wishes it was Austin.
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah, it does.
No, I really don't think it does.
I think we should start, once you actually get there, we should start the turf war. Austin versus Nashville.
The two, trendiest cities in the United States.
Yeah, and I think what we should do, and we don't get a say in it, but we have Kevin and Tom come out and visit each of us. And then they, film a video, and then they make a decision on which city is better.
I like it. I also like to think in this scenario, Nashville is John Hamm in that scene from Mad Men. I don't think about you at all.
So you're already on Team Nashville?
Yes.
That's so
yeah.
stupid. Have you ever been to Austin?
Great.
No, but I've been to Nashville, so I'm already biased.
You're dumb. You're going to love it here. I can't wait till you come to visit. Molly's in the chat says, hey, boys. Hey, chat. Good to see you, Molly. So, Mob, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What are you big on this week, my man?
Yeah, so I don't know if we talked about it. Probably. Can't remember. But I'm big on Mythic Quest.
Oh, yeah. That's a good show.
I really like it. It's quite enjoyable.
Yeah. You can check that out on Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV. Yeah. So I just finished season 1, and it was really, interesting to watch it now because they end with, the whole quarantine thing. And, I don't know. It got real at one point, and it was good. Very well done.
Yeah.
But, I think it's funny. It's Rob and Charlie. So
it's from the creators of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is probably one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
And I just introduced that show to Catherine this year, and she says she thinks it's one of her favorite shows of all time.
She'd never seen it before?
Never seen it.
Wow.
And she absolutely loves it. It's such a good show. And then also, I don't know if you guys have been listening to the Always Sunny podcast.
No, but I know they just did the St. Patrick's Day episode where they drank bourbon while talking about it.
Yeah. I haven't listened to that episode yet, but I'm really excited to because that'll be fun. But it's a great podcast. It's just the three guys who make the show going back, rewatching every episode and then talking about it. But it really is just them, like, they just go off on tangents the whole time and don't really ever talk about the episodes.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. So check that out. I guess we could say that they're sponsoring us this week. We're sponsored by the Always Sunny podcast. That's cool, right? We can do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, what are they going to do?
Do it until we can't.
Right. Exactly. Let's
Stop advertising our podcast.
yeah. Let's ask
For
for
free.
forgiveness, not permission. How about that? All right. Well, Mob, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And why don't we talk to who's that guy over there? Is that Tom?
You know it.
Yeah, it's Tom. Tom, how are you?
I'm great.
Well, that's good to hear. Let me ask you this, buddy.
Hmm.
What are you big on?
The Batman. I finally got to see it last night, and it is a thrill ride. Just a great treat of a movie. Loved every moment of it. It's 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like that. It's very well paced.
Yeah, it's excellent.
And
It's
I
like
appreciate that.
it's kind of like two really good movies put into one. It feels like,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And I saw with a mutual friend, Jordan.
Jordan,
And I was telling him last night after we saw it that I am just more and more impressed with Robert Pattinson with each movie he's in. I think he just does a great job, and I just feel like Twilight was just such a stain that it turned me off for a long time. But he's a fantastic actor, and Colin Farrell does a great job. Zoe Kravitz is amazing. Everyone is it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Couldn't recommend it any higher.
It's so good. I will say, have you ever seen all the Twilights?
I've seen enough.
Okay. They're not good. Like, I'm not going to try to sell you on them, but they are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Hey, was that Theo?
Yeah, he just walked by.
Shout out to Theo. Good to see you, bud. Okay. Well,
He's very
Tom,
confused.
thank you so much. I guess we should just move on. I guess there's really nothing else we should talk about in this regard here, should we?
I can't think of anything.
No.
Nope.
Really.
Where's Kevin?
I don't know. You said something about colonoscopy or something. I don't know.
It's
On a
weird that he
Saturday.
gets those weekly.
Yeah, weekly. It's so weird.
Like, Kenny, what are you big on?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm big on. I'm actually big on a few things. I would like to point out that this is not a sports podcast, but we are in the midst of March Madness. So I hope your bracket is not busted at this point. Mine is not. I'm currently in first place in the Corked Bats bracket challenge. So, all
man.
praise to me.
You know what bragging about being in first place after the first round is like. It's like getting a colonoscopy and enjoying it
Every week.
every week.
Every week. Kevin gets colonoscopies every
Look,
week.
And I need to be clear. I am doing terribly. So this isn't like out of jealousy. Like, I hope you win, Kenny.
Thanks, man.
Because it won't be me.
That'd be big for my street cred, I think, if I won the Corked Bats bracket challenge. Because, I mean, LeBron
Honestly-
James once liked a secondhand Corked Bats post. And so that basically means that LeBron James likes the fact that I'm going to win this bracket.
Absolutely. I just, I want it to be a CineBoy because that's good for the hashtag brand.
Yes.
And it's not going to be me.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. So I'm big on that. The other thing I'm big on, this is dumb, but I don't know why I'm so excited about it. And I'm going to talk about it, and I don't give a shit. I don't care how you guys feel about it. But apparently, Cody Rhodes just signed a deal with WWE. So, yeah, that's kind of a big deal. And Tom, you know why it's a big deal, right?
Nope. Not even going to pretend.
Mob, you definitely know.
Today is the first day in my human life that I've heard the name Cody Rhodes.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Do either of you know who Cody Rhodes is?
Nope.
Okay, so Cody Rhodes, the son of the late, great Dusty Rhodes. Do you know who
okay.
Dusty Rhodes is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
He just passed away, right?
He died a few years ago, but yes.
Oh, then no.
Scott
I don't
Hall
know who
just
he
passed
is.
away.
Scott Hall
Scott
just
Hall.
passed away this week, which is
There it
one of
is.
the- one of the
That
greats.
one's sad, yeah.
One of the greats. But yeah, no, Cody Rhodes basically broke away from WWE a few years ago to help build AEW, which is awesome. But he didn't re-sign a contract with AEW, and now he signed with WWE. He's probably going to be at WrestleMania this year. The thought is he might face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That'd be huge.
Massive. My life is forever changed.
So here's the thing, guys. WrestleMania is a few weeks away. It's in Dallas. You coming down for it?
What week? I legitimately might have something.
It's the first weekend in April.
Oh, no, I don't that weekend.
All right, come on down.
Which
We're
might
going
be
to-
the reason, like, I'm not coming, because it might be the only weekend I don't have anything.
Fair enough. Maul says, "Oh man, I need to check my bracket." Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of games today. Maybe that's what I'm going to do after this podcast is just sit and watch my bracket get even better.
it get
Goth
better?
Grandpa's in the chat, says sup chat.
Or can it
And
only get
Lois,
worse?
Goth Grandpa, good to see you. It can
Think
only
about
get
it.
worse? What are you talking about?
Well, like, teams you have winning could only lose.
Yeah,
How could it get better,
I could win every game from here on out.
Yeah, but that would be, like, expected, kind of.
Yeah. Goth Grandpa says Cody Rhodes looks like Max Headroom. That is 100% accurate. I don't know if
That's
you
creepy.
guys saw the picture I just put up of Cody Rhodes, but if you Google Cody Rhodes right now, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Doing it.
Yeah, it does.
And then Jonesy Jones, my mom, just says at in the chat.
Yikes, he does. That's creepy.
Yeah. So, yeah, Cody Rhodes signed with WWE. Big things ahead for WWE, I'd say. All right. Well,
Right on.
right. Right on. Cool. Let's move on. All right. Well, guys, we got a few headlines this week. Really, we're going to talk about Oscars, and it's going to be an off-the-cuff discussion. I don't think we really planned anything. Yeah, but let's get into some headlines real quick, and then we'll talk Oscars and bitch and moan about it. So, first one, sad one. Unfortunately, William Hurt passed away this week, which is a pretty big bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Was
Yeah.
he sick? Did he have like cancer or something?
I think he had some form of cancer.
Okay. Because he was in, I think he was in the the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't look too great in that movie. And that movie was probably filmed like 2 years ago. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Only 71, which
Yeah.
not that old
yeah,
anymore.
Not that old. Yeah, that's pretty young these days.
Mm-hmm.
I've told people that I plan to live till at least 98. That's my goal. Genetics, probably not on my side, but I'm saying 98. I'll be so old. I'll be so bored. But anyways, so yeah, William Hurt. Let me ask you this, guys. What's your favorite William Hurt performance? Because I know mine.
I was reading some of the articles and they were like listing the movies he's been in, and they're all like these critically acclaimed movies that, spoiler alert, I've actually never seen.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
But I'm trying to do my damnedest to think of ones I have seen him in.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, if we're going to talk like critically acclaimed favorite William Hurt movie, it's got to be Broadcast News. But if we're just talking like personal, like the one movie that I will always think about when I think of William Hurt, unfortunately, it's Lost in Space. Unfortunately, that movie's so bad, but he's in it. It's also got Gary Oldman in it.
Joey.
It had Joey from Friends. It had so much potential, and then it was just dog shit. So,
What was he in that I've seen?
He's in a lot of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, he's in a lot
Yeah.
of the Marvel movies.
And he's good in that, but he's not he's a important character, but
Yeah.
he's not like forefront and center all the time.
True.
Right.
You know what
Well,
else?
because he was in the Hulk,
Yeah.
the Incredible Hulk.
I'll say this, and I think this is like probably not a popular opinion, and I don't mean this to be sarcastic. Like, I really actually do think this. His performance in The Village, I thought was really, 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 really good. The Village.
That's fair. It can be like a not great movie, but there can be standout performances.
Yeah, Meryl Streep gets nominated for those all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like not a great movie, The Village, but ultimately pretty solid performance from William Hurt. My mom says, GG, he looks like Max Headroom in Billy Idol's Love Child. I'm assuming she's talking about
I can see that.
Cody Rhodes, and then broadcast news is what comes to mind for her. Yeah, I think that's probably the number one that comes to mind for most people.
I feel like I've seen more of the movies he's in, but not as a starring character. And so I don't want to say any of those.
Fair
I feel
enough.
like I have to pick one that he's like the main role.
Yeah. Well, cool. And then, so rest in peace, William Hurt. Yeah, go watch a William Hurt movie today. Pay your respects. And then also, we got a few trailers this week. This first one, I actually didn't really think too much of it when I was hearing about it, but the trailer for Miss Marvel, it looks awesome. It looks bumping. Did you guys see the trailer?
I did. Is this a brand new Marvel character that they made up, or is this one that's been around?
She's been around. She's got a few comics. Yeah, so it's yeah, it looks really, really fun. I think it's just the fact you put The Weeknd and music in the trailer, it's gonna make me like it. So
that's what got me. Like I was like, "Ooh, this looks cool," and then I was like, "Oh, it's probably mostly because the Weeknd song."
Yeah, that's like me with any like bank robbing movie that uses Kendrick Lamar in the background. Like it could be starring Gerard Butler, but I'm in because you used Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, it looks stylish. It looks fun. I think it comes out in June on Disney Plus, if I'm not mistaken. So you can check that out in June. I know Kev's probably excited. He'll probably watch that after a colonoscopy.
Maybe during.
You're right.
Oscar, in your experience, is there anything I can do to make it more pleasurable for me, for Dr. Chandri?
Oh, man. Sweet Kevin. We miss him. Come back, Kev. All right. And then we also got the trailer for Barry Season 3.
Yes.
So
excited.
Very excited for Barry. I love Barry. Such a good show.
Awesome. Batty.
Yeah. And it's like how like the second season was like, I think it was like
so long ago.
3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since we saw Barry. I think 2019 was the last one.
Might need to go back and rewatch the first couple seasons because like I was watching the trailer and I was like, oh yeah,
I don't remember most of this.
I don't remember hardly any of this. It definitely
that's what gets so tough about like obviously I know that COVID put a halt on everything, but like even before that though, with streaming, like they were able to take their time and like there'd be like a year to 2 years between seasons or even longer. And it's just like, by the time we get to the next season, I've forgotten so much of everything.
Yeah.
I just think that can be frustrating at times.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a weird streaming world that we live in these days. We don't get everything on a yearly schedule.
Want it now,
which may not necessarily be a bad thing, but it sucks that we have to wait so long.
Right. Like it definitely, like I think, lends to better quality of shows and movies.
Yeah.
But it just, at the same time, like our attention spans are a lot shorter now, and we forget so much after like a day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real bummer, it is a real bummer that I have to wait till probably fall of 2023 to see the new season of Succession. That's too damn long. It's like my favorite show.
And isn't like Euphoria kind of the same way? Like the first 2 seasons came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And now the newest season just came out.
Yeah. So it's a pretty long turnaround these days. But yeah. So check out season 3 of Barry coming in April. And then really
we got a lot of stuff coming out in April.
I know it's going to be a pretty big few months.
Yeah.
So buckle up, baby. And then really the last bit of news that I thought was worthy enough to talk about, Christopher Lloyd officially has joined the cast of The Mandalorian.
Nice.
So we get Doc Brown in Star Wars, which
perfect.
I'm in.
Didn't know we needed it. Didn't know we wanted it, but we truly need and want it. And it's so great. How old is he though? He's getting old.
It's like 80 something.
I always thought he was like in his 70s when they did Back to the Future.
Yeah, he looked old then.
Right.
But I guess he wasn't. I guess he was like in his like 40s.
Mm-hmm.
But now, that movie, Back to the Future, holy shit.
He's 83 years old.
83?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
He was in Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, and he kicked some ass in that. He was getting around pretty decently.
Maybe
So,
he's in
like,
pretty
good for
good
him.
shape. What kind of character do you think he's gonna play?
I don't know.
I hope he just
Why?
like they put a lot of prosthetics on him, and he's just like Jabba the Hutt's brother. That's what I want to see.
So like with the whole thing, because they did Mandalorian season 1, 2, and then they did Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett's continuing as well. So like those are 2 separate things, right?
Yes.
But they're definitely very going to be intertwined.
Yes, very connected, and they've already connected it a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
To go watch this.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah. K Mingo's.
I'm just trying to think.
Good to see you, Kay. What were you gonna say, Mob? I'm sorry.
He can't. I'm just saying he can't be Jabba the Hutt's lackey or something like brother.
What? Who are you to say that? Who are you to make that call?
Well, I guess he could. Sorry, never mind. I'm just thinking Jabba's gone.
Yeah, Jabba's gone, but Jabba's brother's still kicking.
That
Whoa,
doesn't mean
spoilies.
that doesn't mean
JK.
that doesn't mean that like his brother died too. I was overthinking.
Yeah. Jabba. What would Jabba the Hutt's brother's name be?
Java.
Java the Hutt. I was thinking it'd be something more mundane, like
Gordo.
David the Hutt,
Gordo. David.
Mike the Hutt,
Pizza.
Jim.
Pizza the Hutt. That's a great little reference. If you've never seen Spaceballs, do yourself a favor. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for headlines. So, what I thought we could do this week, guys, since we're only 30 minutes in and we gotta kill some time if we want to hit at least 45. Oscars are next weekend. How are we feeling about the Oscars?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
All right, don't get too excited, guys. Whatever you do.
I mean, I always will enjoy like what's the word?
Pageantry.
The pageantry, the circumstance, the pomp and circumstance, if you will. The last 10 years, and I think the Big Picture talked about this, the Big Picture podcast talked about this. It just gets harder year to year because like viewership goes down and it's just like, there's just like less, in my opinion, like some of these movies are just they're just trying to hit this like real specific niche that doesn't excite me.
Sure.
And like they're great movies, like objectively, like a lot of them are like great, very well done movies, but they just don't excite.
Right. Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you just hit it on the head, man. I feel like there are some really good movies this year. It's actually, I would say overall, like this crop of Best Picture nominees, I think is a really solid crop compared to previous years. But at the same time, I totally get that. There are a few movies on there that I'm just like, yeah, they're going for a real niche. And just so you know, if you go to corkbats.com, you can read our the first 2 parts of our 4-part Oscar series are up. So go check those out. We kind of talk about the Best Picture nominees. We break them into categories. So far, we've written 2. One is taking a look at the fan favorites, and then also one on the Oscar bait ones. So ones that we think were there just because it feels like they were made by Oscar voters for Oscar voters.
Yeah, and they just don't seem like accessible to the wider audience moviegoer who just wants to have a good time and like be entertained.
Right. Yeah, so there's 2 in particular that I think fit that category very well. One is Drive My Car, which is 3 hours long. It is slow as shit. And it's like the story, here's what I'll say. I get why it's nominated. It's a good story-ish, but it's just, man, it's so slow, and it's just really not engaging at all. And some of the scenes are like 45. There's like a scene in the movie, spoiler alert. There's a scene in the movie where 2 characters are in a car having a conversation.
What?
Spoiler alert, there's a car. Like they're in the backseat of the car, and it's like a 35-minute scene, and it's like this conversation. I just feel like I understand why it's important to the movie, but I feel like you could have had this conversation in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Gal says, I like Drive My Car a lot, but I did have to watch it in 2 seconds. Yeah, see, like, exactly. And by the way, good to see you, Gal. So glad you're here. Kay's asking, will we be live streaming the Oscars? Kay. Of course, we'll be live streaming the Oscars. That's like our bread and butter. So we'll definitely have that. But yeah, no, Gal just hit it on the head. Like, it's a movie you have to watch in 2 sittings. So I don't think it's bad. It's well acted. And it's just a movie that, you know, it's not, for me, it wasn't super engaging. Like, and I fell asleep, so I had to watch it in several settings too. The other thing that I kind of, and I said this in the blog post about Drive My Car, is that lately, the past probably like 3 or 4 years, we've gotten these movies, these foreign language movies in the Best Picture nomination category, which typically has never happened before. And the 2 previous movies that got it were Parasite and Roma, which I think both of those movies are absolutely fantastic. Parasite especially, I just think is top.
I love Parasite.
Yeah, everybody loves Parasite.
Yeah.
And so when you see Drive My Car in there, my initial reaction was like, this is awesome. Another foreign language film. It's probably very, very good and has like a culture, especially like American film culture. We haven't really been exposed to these types of movies on a grand scale until the past few years. So I'm really excited to see Drive My Car. And then I get into it and I'm like, let's go.
It's boring.
Come on. So I don't not recommend it. If you really, really like those types of like slow burn movies, it is fantastic in that sense. Like, it is a slow burn movie. If you're into that, it has a good story. It's very well acted. And yeah. Gal wants to know, when will an anime be nominated for Best Picture?
I don't vote. I don't know.
Tom, are you a big anime guy?
No,
Okay.
but
I have a few I would recommend, but I'm not super I guess I just don't have a lot of exposure to it. But there's a couple of anime movies that I think are really, really good. So yeah. There's Drive My Car, and then let me ask you this. As far as the Best Picture, I know, Tom, you've seen about half of them.
yes.
Mob, you've seen maybe half-ish.
Probably.
Of the ones you've seen, what would you say would get your Oscar vote at this point?
Hands down, Coda.
Yeah. I'd say Coda or Dune.
Coda or Dune? Okay.
I think, because I think we either talked about it on the podcast or via text, but I think for me it's Coda, because like I expect to and actually love Dune, which I did, and it was very good. But the fact that I went into Coda with like no expectation and it blew me out of the water, to me, like that's the difference there.
Honestly, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, but just the scene alone where like the dad and his daughter are sitting on the back of the truck and she starts singing for him and he like touches her throat because he can't hear.
He just chokes her.
And she he squeezes the life out of her. No, he's like feeling the vibrations of her voice as she sings. It's just like that alone, like, we were dead from emotion.
That was definitely the point in the movie where I had to pull a pillow over my face so my fiance wouldn't see me cry. And she goes, "Are you crying?" And I said, "No."
You're crying.
I agree.
Just allergic to jerks.
I think Coda is, of all, to be fair, I have one left to see. I have to see Belfast. I'm going to watch that today. But of all the ones I've seen so far, Coda is by far my favorite. It is so good.
For me, it hits like everything. It's very well done, incredibly well acted, entertaining as all get out. Like, has a good amount of really funny humor. Like, it hits everything.
Yeah.
And I just,
and it's not necessarily that Oscar bait type movie either, where it's just like, it's very accessible and like anybody who likes any sort of movie could enjoy it.
Yeah. Gal says, I gotta watch Coda. I really love The Power of the Dog. Power of the Dog also was in that blog post about Oscar bait. But the thing I said about Power of the Dog was that the difference between, I think, Power of the Dog and Drive My Car is that Power of the Dog, for me, visually stunning, looks amazing. The story is is just, I feel like, better paced and like engaging. Again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm hating on Drive My Car, but
there's places for those Oscar baity movies, right?
Sure.
And it's like we've said, like, I can watch some of these movies. I haven't seen either of the ones this year, but I can watch some of them. I know I've seen them in the past and understand why they're nominated
Yeah.
and why they are good movies.
Yeah.
I don't have to like them though.
That's how I felt about Nomadland. Like I understood why it was appreciated in the way that it was. It was a snooze fest for me. And that's kind of how I feel about The Power of the Dog.
Mm-hmm.
It was with The Power of the Dog too. Like I was noticing this, like the storyline and like the things that were happening were like too subtle. Like I just felt like everything that was happening was just like implied as to why it happened, and nothing was like fully explained. And so I just felt like I had to like look some stuff up afterwards to like kind of get like the full idea of like what was happening.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I feel like with Power of the Dog, Gal says, I guess I've taken the bait. Gal, don't want you to think that we're necessarily hating on these movies.
No, we're just ignorant. Like
Right.
we don't understand. We don't understand highbrow art.
Yeah.
At least I don't.
And Goth Grandpa says I was confusing Power of the Dog with Dog, the Channing Tatum movie. Totally get it, man. Basically the same name. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I think I would put Power of the Dog over Drive My Car. Because with Power of the Dog, I never felt like I was disengaged.
No.
I think that's what it has.
I did appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, Coda, if you haven't seen Coda, it's on Apple TV Plus. It's not a super long watch and it's really, really good. And you know what? I think it has momentum going into next weekend, which is like big for Oscars.
I'd love it.
It's won a lot of awards. It's doing really well. I think it won the SAG award, right? For best ensemble.
I think so.
Yeah.
And the dad won for like best supporting actor.
Yeah. So
He's
I
awesome.
think
he was so good.
I think he might be a lock for the Oscar. I don't want to jinx him.
I hope so.
But yeah, and then there are 10 best picture nominees this year, which is more than usual. I think it's usually like 8 or 9. So there is a lot to watch. And then I do think there are a few movies that just like you have no business being here. And that blog post is coming next, so be on the lookout for that. So you can go to corkbats.com. Like I said, the first 2 parts of the 4-part Oscar blog series are up, so you can check that out. And we'll have the next 2 this week before the Oscars. And then next week we are not doing a podcast, so Saturday morning, no brunch. Might do another stream just for fun, because I got this new setup and I just want to play with it. So, but next Sunday, Oscar night. We're going to be there. We'll start at probably like 6:40, 6:45, and then we're going to watch the Oscars together. So if you like watching the Oscars and want to hang out with people, there you go. If you don't give a shit about the Oscars and you just want to hang out with us because we're going to be talking the whole time, absolutely by all means join us. We'd love to have you.
Maybe they'll do something where like an incredibly iconic actor dies and everyone expects him to get the Oscar, and they even set it up for that moment, and then they give it to Anthony Hopkins and we all freak out. Maybe that'll happen again.
That is the best thing.
That's so infuriating
for our podcast, in the sense that like we have those sweet gifts now that we use for our follow alerts. So if you're in the chat right now, you want to see the follow alert that we're talking about, it's Mob reacting to Anthony Hopkins winning Best Actor last year. So,
like, I was ready to pack it in, call it a night, because we were all expected Chadwick Boseman to win and would have absolutely loved for that to happen.
Yeah.
And then Joaquin Phoenix is standing up there and goes, Anthony Hopkins, he's not here. We're over. Boom. Curtain.
Yeah. Gal says I want to unfollow and then refollow to see. Actually, I can probably just hit the test widget and see if that works.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
Yeah, so I think that popped up on the screen for you guys because I saw it and I heard it. But that is Mob reacting to Anthony Hopkins Best Actor last year. So
I was shook.
Yeah, we dress up for the Oscars too. Don't forget, guys, you have to wear a tie. I know Kevin was upset about that last year. But
pants are optional.
Pants are optional as long as you don't.
Ties.
I didn't wear like actual bottoms last year.
Oh no. Well, as long as you're not showing it, that's fine. We don't want to get flagged on Twitch, so don't do anything.
When I say that, I mean I was wearing like shorts, which is probably what I'll do this year. And I think I did stand up at one point. So
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be live next week watching the Oscars. I'm probably going to stream from my couch so I can watch it on my TV. Technology's crazy, isn't it?
Totally. Love it.
Totally. Well, yeah. So Oscars next week. Join us. And let us know if you have any hot takes about the Best Picture nominees, or really any of the nominees in any category. Marie Not J says, "I will stay up for this." Maybe. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a time difference there. Yeah. So yeah, the other things I'll say about the Oscars, I think, I saw Eyes of Tammy Faye with Jessica Chastain. She's phenomenal. I do recommend that movie. Andrew Garfield, I still haven't seen Tick Tick Boom. I think I'll probably watch that this week, though.
He's really good in it.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I think it's between him and Will Smith. But again, when it comes to the Oscars, I think momentum plays a big part in that. And Will Smith has a ton of momentum right now. So
I would say, and this will probably be unpopular amongst our community, that I enjoyed Will Smith more than Andrew Garfield. And not to take away anything from Andrew Garfield, but
No.
that was just...
I think it was Will Smith's best performance ever.
Damn.
And he
I gotta
deserves-
watch this.
undoubtedly.
Yeah, and he deserves an award for it, for sure.
Not even, like, I don't even think that's a question.
Yeah.
Has he won before, or has he just been nominated?
No, he's
Just
been
been
nominated.
Yeah.
But he's
He was
never actually
nominated.
won.
Nominated for Concussion and Pursuit of Happiness.
Ali,
Yes.
I think he was nominated.
And
as
Ali,
well.
yeah.
Yes.
I'll
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Marina J says Tick Tick Boom made me cry so hard, and Maul says they're so different but both good. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Tick Tick Boom maybe today. Maybe I'll just put it on while I'm working on some things. But well, cool guys. We'll see you next week for the Oscars. But before we go for the day, Tom, what's your inspiration level looking like right now?
I'm so inspired this week.
You are? Let's do some trivia then, buddy.
Let's do some trivia. So as I mentioned earlier, I saw The Batman last night. Loved it. Just so good. I recommend everyone going out and watching it. Also, I was thinking about this. I could be wrong, but I don't think that they once referred to him as Batman. I think they just only refer to him as Vengeance throughout the whole movie, or the Bat. I don't think they one time said Batman.
That's actually how I'm referred to at work.
Vengeance.
People just call me Vengeance.
Hmm.
It's like, hey, Vengeance, can you write that report?
No,
No.
I'm Batman. Any hoozle. So I thought we'd do some Batman trivia.
Gal says, Batman spoiler. Love that the Riddler is a Twitch streamer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Us
was.
too. He's one of us.
I don't want to.
One of us.
One
of us.
Stop
One
it.
of
Stop
us.
it. Stop saying that. Anywho, so I will say though, this trivia I found, I discovered this a little late, but a lot of it is like comic book Batman related, so this could be a little tough.
Nice.
Anyway, let's get into it.
Wait, Gal says I got my saran wrap ready. Gal, no.
Yikes. That's not what we're doing.
Don't be a Riddler minion.
That's not what
We
we're
do not
doing here.
recommend it for just life and career wise. Not a good move. Anyways, continue, Tom. Sorry.
Question number 1. Who is credited with creating Batman? Is it Jerry Siegel, Jack Kirby, Bob Kane, Joe Shuster?
I know
Schuster.
the answer, and I will also say it's none of those four. So technically, the answer is, well, Mob, do you want to take a guess?
No, go for it.
I just want to impart my knowledge to everyone here. The answer is Bob Kane, but the real creator of Batman is Bill Finger. Look it up. That's
exactly right.
There's an amazing documentary about that on Hulu. It's called Batman and Bill. Highly recommend watching it. It's really, really good. Bill Finger.
Barely know her.
Bill Finger, hardly know.
Yikes. Yes, that is correct. Yes, the question was who is credited, and Bob Kane is credited, but you are correct. Although he worked with Bill Finger on the original comics,
Finger?
Bob Kane is generally credited with creating the character. of
You asked the
Batman.
question.
Sorry.
The question was asked. I'm sorry.
What Batman villain formerly worked as a zoologist? Man-Bat, Killer Croc, the Penguin, or Poison Ivy?
I want to say Killer Croc. I don't know the answer for sure, though.
What was the first option?
Man-Bat.
I'm gonna say Man-Bat.
The answer is Man-Bat.
Man-Bat.
Scientist Kirk Langstrom is the name.
Gal's in the chat. She says Tom equals lawful neutral, Kenny equals lawful good, and Mob equals chaotic neutral.
Nice.
I like that. Also, Man-Bat.
That's a dumb name.
I like to think that the guy was like, "Hey,
He was on a deadline.
I want to be a Batman villain. What's the opposite of Batman?"
Man-Bat.
I like to think that the writer was on a deadline, couldn't come up with something, and it's Friday at 5 p.m. and he needed it 2 hours ago, so he just went with Man-Bat.
Man-Bat. Let's go with that.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Our next question.
All right.
Which of these Bat villains was introduced first? Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, or the Riddler?
I don't know, but I'm going to guess Penguin.
See, I'm on with the Riddler.
Both wrong.
Oh,
The answer is Catwoman.
okay.
Ooh, this is a good
Cool.
question. What was Alfred the Butler's original family name? Wyndham, Chatsworth, Beagle, Pennyworth.
It's Pennyworth.
Pennyworth, right?
100%.
Well, I know that is his name now, but was it his original name?
Oh,
I'll say
I'm going
Pennyworth because I don't know
Pennyworth.
better.
Original family name was Beagle.
Are we there? Do you see us, chat?
Mine is still spinning.
mine's still spinning.
Oh, man. Technical difficulty. Here's the good news. We are recording this, so if you F's in the chat from Mr. Remus, I think we are back.
Mm-mm.
No? Shit.
Okay. Oh,
Oh,
There
I
we
think
are.
we're live. We're back?
And we're back.
Oh, my gosh. That is... Oh, how embarrassing for us. Oh.
Should we do one more question?
Yeah, we need to distract people from the fact we literally just lost our connection. Go for it.
The next question, maybe our last question. What writer first referred to Batman as the Dark Knight? Frank Miller, Christopher Nolan, Bob Kane, or Bill Finger?
I want to say Frank Miller, but I don't think that's right.
I'll say Bob Kane.
It was Bill Finger.
Bill Finger. I should have just said that. I'm a dummy.
I'm trying to distance myself from Bill Finger right now.
Understandable.
There we go.
Understandable. Cool. Well, Tom, thank you so much for the Batman trivia. We really appreciate it. Why don't we do some movie anniversaries?
Happy 5-year anniversary to All Nighter, which I'd never heard of until I was researching this, but I believe it has J.K. Simmons and Emil Hirsch. If those names sound familiar.
Okay, sounds like a
I mean, I know those
straight to
names.
DVD movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Happy 10-year anniversary to Casa de Mi Padre with Will
I
Ferrell.
forgot about that movie.
Gosh.
I
I tried
never
to
saw it.
watch it, and I didn't think it was that funny.
Fair enough.
Happy 25-year anniversary to Liar Liar.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
25 years,
Mm.
huh?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dang, dude. Dang, bro. Well, shit. Tom, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. My mom says lost you guys. Well, we're back. Don't you worry. We figured it out. It was our technical guy. He wasn't doing his job.
Don't worry, he's fired.
We fired him. So, good luck finding a job in this economy. Actually, I think it's pretty easy to find a job right now because everybody's quitting their jobs. I don't know. Anyways, that guy's gone. But that brings us to the end of our podcast. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Mom's in the chat, Goth Grandpa, Molly, Marie, Kay, Gal, Mr. Remo's in the chat today. Good to see you. Who
So-
else was here? I think that was it. But guys, we really appreciate it. As always, we always have a great time with you. If you're just lurking in the chat, say hi and then give us a follow. So we would really appreciate that. Again, next week, real quick housekeeping thing. Saturday morning, we are not going to be live, but Sunday, put it on your calendar. Sunday, probably about 6:45, we're going to hop on and we're going to watch the Oscars together. So we hope to see you guys there. We might do another stream at some point this week, but it'll probably be like kind of a last minute thing. So just be on the lookout for that. And then, yeah, be sure to, first and foremost, follow Cork Bats on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Cork Bats on Twitter, at CorkBats2 on Instagram. Be sure to check out corkbats.com where you can see our Oscar blog posts. And then, yeah, for us, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the CineBoiz. Give us a follow here on Twitch. Be sure to follow on the Cork Bats YouTube page. And then, yeah, the audio podcast / video on Spotify will be available a little bit later today. So be sure to listen, like, subscribe, share that shit. It goes a long way for us. We really appreciate it. Do you guys have anything else you need to mention? Anything you want to say?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, it was really good to see you guys. I really hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Likewise.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Au revoir.
Bye.